It is UFC, PFL, Glory, BKFC veteran. The man's done it all. It's Chris Camozzi. Chris, perfect start to your BKFC career, right? 2 big wins out of the chute, and now a title shot, man. Talk to me how you're feeling as you're about to compete for this belt.
Man, I feel great about it. As soon as I signed with BKFC, even before, like when I was looking at BKFC, I started looking at Lorenzo Hunt and I started looking at the division, and I saw an opening there where I was like, man, if I'm going to do this, like I want to fight the best. So, I've got a lot of respect for Lorenzo and what he's done, but this is my time now. I feel like I've hit my prime kind of late in my career, honestly, and my last few fights, I just keep feeling better and better, whether it's MMA, bare knuckle. I want to do it all, and I feel like I've had this resurgence in my career, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, man. It really does seem like you're fighting as well as you ever have, and now you get this opportunity. It's BKFC 50. It's September 22nd, and maybe perhaps most importantly, it's in Denver, right? I mean, that's got to make this opportunity even that much more special.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the opportunity to fight for a world title in my hometown, I couldn't have lined it up any better. So when they told me they were coming to Denver, I was shocked actually, because I was like, wow, not only am I the challenger, but we get to do it in my hometown. Like, sold.
Pretty cool, man. Denver is becoming a real hot spot as late for combat sports. But I want to ask you, I mean, this year, right? I mean, 2 fights for you, obviously a world title fight. I know how much you have going on outside of the ring, which keeps you busy all the time. Your girlfriend fought twice as well, which I know you've been cornering and preparing her. I mean, I don't know how you find enough hours in the day, honestly, to make it work. But, I mean, this has got to be a pretty special year for you overall.
It has. It's been a great year. Obviously everybody going through, COVID a few years ago and stuff. It kind of, how do I put it? It was a slump for sure. And now we're finally bouncing back, and business is booming. Um, I'm a busy person, so I like to be busy. I'm stir crazy. I think that's why I got in the sport, honestly, because I've got so much energy, and I can't just sit around all day. So I prefer it. It makes me focus better when I'm just go, 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 go. So adding this in, I'm taking some time off work. I've, cut down my hours so that I can fully focus on this fight and actually train the way I should, because I said it before, I kind of hate saying this, but the last 2 I had in BKFC, I didn't train as much as I should have. And luckily it worked out, so, I was probably hitting the gym 3 days a week and then training on my own the rest, just bag work and cardio. So this time I'm putting in a full camp, and I think you see what I've done the last 2 fights with, part-time training. This one, I'm everything all out. I'm swimming for cardio. I'm training twice a day, adding in strength and conditioning even more. So I'm excited to see that progress as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because a little more than a month out at this time. And I wondered, with all the kind of irons you had in the fire, if you were going to be able to, I guess, kind of commit to this full time. So you were able to walk away from the other businesses and turn them over to other people?
Yeah, I mean, Fit Soda, they're great. I own a part of the company, and we're a group of friends that have it. So everybody is super excited about this opportunity for me. So they're like, take whatever you need, come in when you want, yada, yada. I couldn't ask for better. So, yeah, everything is full focus on this, which has been great. It's real refreshing. It's not as stressful, and I'm able to, like, throughout the day, train with the best, do the best things for my body. And, yeah, I've still got over a month left.
That's awesome, man. All right, so you mentioned earlier on, you got respect for Lorenzo Hunt. I mean, it's tough to look at his record and try to not give him credit for what he's accomplished, right? But what do you see? I mean, the guy's had some big wins, but do you see holes? Do you see flaws? Do you see opportunities? Or is this just a matter of you being as sharp as you can? What do you think when you see him?
Yeah, I think there are some holes there. Like I said, respect to him, what he's done. He's helped build the sport. I think, after this fight, 185 can be his division, but 205 is mine. Cruiserweight's mine. He can go down. He can fight the smaller guys. He can keep the belt there, because I'm not making 185 anymore. But I think, I've been all over the world. I've fought the best in the world for a really long time. And the levels that I've fought on, I don't think that he brings anything I haven't seen before, but it's just going to be a down and dirty brawl.
Yeah, no question. Look, I don't know if you paid attention to him. You talked about the growth of the sport. Did you see recently Unified Prove?
There we go. All right,
All
you're
right,
back.
cool. Yeah, no, I was just gonna say the unified rules being approved. I mean, does that excite you to see like, oh, maybe this is going to continue to grow?
Yeah, it does excite me. Getting unified rules is great because I want to go to Vegas. I want to go to California. I want to fight all these places, you know. And I even told Feldman, like, I'm in this. I love this sport. And I told him when we signed this deal, I was like, look, I want to help you build this sport. Like, I'll go lobby with you for these states and help you. So let me know what I can do because I think that it's going to explode even more. You know, it's getting bigger and bigger. It's got a ton of eyeballs on it. Everybody loves it. It's super fan friendly, and I don't see why it's not legal. You know, honestly, if slap fight's going to be legal in Vegas, and there's no way that bare knuckle shouldn't be because bare knuckle, at least you get defense. You're not just sitting there slapping the shit out of each other and getting knocked out. And, you know, there's still defense and strategy involved. So I think that some of these other sports I've seen legalized, I don't understand why a sport like bare knuckle would get have to jump through some more hoops.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. You know, and in the beginning when it first was introduced, I was a little hesitant. Thought, I don't know, man, what kind of injuries they're going to see. But once you see it play out in practice, you see, okay, yeah, there's more cuts than there are than in regular combat sports, regular boxing, regular MMA. But that's it, really. I mean, we haven't seen like badly traumatic injuries because you really do have to be careful with your punches, or you just end up breaking your hands and then you can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. You got to. What did Feldman calls it the sweeter science because you got to put your punches on target even tighter than boxing because yeah, you catch an elbow, even just, you know, forehead, you break a hand pretty easy. But it's a fun, different, it's hard to explain because I didn't get it until the first one. Like the pacing is different, the distance is different, even from normal boxing. Because like you've seen before, a lot of the boxers that have come over haven't done that well. I think MMA is kind of the perfect mix for training for it for the most part because MMA, you get in the clinch, you get in these like tight pockets, but there's a little bit of grappling and then there's a little bit of brawling too. Whereas boxers, it's more clean, pretty smooth in and out, and there's no clinching really, like where you can grab the head. So I think that it's a completely different sport, and the only way to really realize that is kind of doing it. Maybe as you watch it more, but I would love to see him add elbows, honestly, because in MMA, I can grab your head and I can throw a knee, and I can knee harder than I can punch. I can elbow. I can do all these things. I can put my shin across your face without any padding. But for some reason, like the knuckles, people think it's a lot more shocking.
Look at you. You're crazy. You're just trying to adding the elbows into that would make it pretty interesting.
Yeah, all upper body. I mean, why not?
I dig it. I dig it. We'll talk about this, man. I mean, we'll see where the future of the sport goes. Right now, it's your title fight on the line. I mean, is this the biggest win of your career? I mean, I know you were chasing the MMA dream for a long time, but you've done everything: kickboxing, bare knuckle. I mean, this is a world title. Is this the biggest win of your career?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to say so. Like you said, it's a world title. To be the bare knuckle boxing world champion would be a giant feather in my cap for my career. And yeah, that's why when I got this opportunity, I was like, man, I've got to go all out because I don't want to look back on this later and think like I wish I would have done something different, because at the end of the day, my career, when it ends, you know, like this sport does not have a ton of longevity. I've fought for 17 years, which is pretty insane to me when I think about it, but there's not a ton of longevity in it. So the quicker the better, but being able to look back on my career and have these like milestones and things that I accomplished is amazing. You know, getting my black belt in jiu-jitsu was another one. There's certain things throughout my career that I'll always look back on, and this is probably going to be number one.
That's awesome, man. Well, we're definitely looking forward to it. You have earned your shot there. It's going to be a great fight. It is BKFC 50. It'll be on September 22nd. If you can get tickets to the First Bank Center, do it. If not, it'll be on the BKFC app. And Chris, you know, we'll be tuned in watching. Best of luck to you.